President Trump is not ruling out pardons for some of his associates indicted and sentenced during the special counsel investigation. Former Trump campaign advisor Michael Caputo told One America's Jack Posobiec why he believes there needs to be presidential pardons.
Well, we're very excited to welcome back here at One America News. Michael Caputo, former aide to President Trump's campaign, had been a figure in the Mueller investigation, but now we learn no collusion, no obstruction, complete exoneration on these charges of a Russia conspiracy. Michael, how do you feel about that?
Great, and it's still out there. The smell is in the air, but I woke up this morning in my hometown paper in this little area where I live in Western New York, this little village I live in, had a story that, Michael Caputo vindicated by Mueller report.
Yeah, and we saw even General Flynn probably coming out on max with that $5 million in legal fees to essentially combat a hoax.
It's true, and I think Roger Stone will end up within the $5 million range as well. And, people got deep into the 5 figures, really deep into the 6 figures. But, Roger, Paul, General Flynn, all these fellas, they're spending millions and millions of dollars.
Now, how do you think that the president should react to not only the entire situation, but and also because you're involved with this as a witness, there are still open prosecutions going on.
I think that the president should immediately pardon General Flynn, George Papadopoulos, and Roger Stone. All 3 of them in one fell swoop. Just pardon them. Investigate the investigators. Get another special prosecutor out there, because we know for a fact that there is too much evidence, so much evidence, that there was some kind of conspiracy to stop the Republican candidate for president, to spy on his team, and after he got elected, to try to get rid of him, try to run him out of office. I was approached in early May through a good friend of mine by a guy in the national security industry, and he came to my friend and said, I was just in a technology office that does contracting work for the federal government in the agency sphere, and they had copies of Hillary Clinton's emails that are missing, and they showed me a summary of it, and they really want to get it to the Trump campaign. These people in the government, in the United States government, were passing around at least summaries of or copies of Hillary Clinton's emails in April. That's what he told me. So from my perspective, I told every investigator, they wanted nothing to do with this.
One thing that I think a lot of people don't also realize is that a lot of these informants, since they're not, full-time government staff, they can do things which is essentially freelancing, right? They can kind of go off on their own, try to make contacts in order to generate information that may or may not be of investigative value, and then bring that to FBI, CIA in order to sort of get an investigation going. So there could be, even opportunities here where people who have done work as confidential informants are trying to reach out to members of the Trump campaign in order to generate an investigation.
Interesting stuff too. A lot of things happen to a lot of us, and among the people who are witnesses, all the people from the campaign, a lot of us are scratching our heads and trying to figure out that weird guy that approached us at Starbucks was one of these characters come at us through the FBI informant system. I can tell you this, something that people didn't want to hear about. I told the investigations in the House and the Senate about this, and I told the Mueller team about this, and none of them even ever appeared to care or even ask follow-up questions.
There are so many questions, and I gather that's why you're jumping on board and calling for this second investigation. Michael Caputo, we really appreciate you being on with us, and congratulations again on your exoneration.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.